You can't possibly be surprised by anything anymore. Joe Biden, our president, got a shout out from Donald Trump today that was actually nice.
Joe Biden's not too old to be president. I know a lot of people that are older than him and they're at the top of their game. It's not even close.
Well, that is very big of him to say.
Donald Trump, the former president, has been making headlines for his constant fundraising pleas, which Kimmel likens to a 6-year-old trapped in a 76-year-old's body. But Trump is not alone, as Kimmel reports that the political arena is filled with other Republican babies throwing tantrums. Kimmel, the late-night star, has been on a roll roasting Trump like a Thanksgiving turkey, from his endless fundraising scams to his actions within the Republican Party that resemble those of a 6-year-old. Trump has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Kimmel, however, is not just after easy targets. He is not afraid to upset some people in the process, as he has a significant message to communicate. With the nation more divided than ever, there has never been a greater need for Kimmel's style of sarcastic commentary, so buckle up, because this latest roast from the incisive comedian is sure to be an exciting ride. Greetings, folks. This is Donald Trump, your most beloved president ever, surpassing even Lincoln and Washington. I've got an important announcement for you all. The crowd burst into laughter as I deliver the punchline. For just $249, you can own the official Trump brand upside-down American flag. Buy 10 or more and you'll receive an upside-down Bible absolutely free. All I want is your cash. Just give me your money. I then propose the absurd idea of offering handmade upside-down American flags from China, the nation that's flipped in relation to us, exposing the ridiculousness of Trump's marketing tactics. Kimmel's comedic genius shines through in this hilarious and satirical take on Trump's antics.
Supreme Court Justice Sam Alito had an upside-down flag flying outside his house after January 6th. He blamed this on his wife with a story that doesn't quite match up with the police account of the events. After Trump was convicted, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a picture of an upside-down flag. Lots of other Trumpers have been posting these upside-down flags in support of their orange Jesus, who, of course, has already come up with a way to make money off this.
Kimmel's comedic genius was on full display as he drew parallels between the former president, Donald Trump, and other political figures, highlighting Trump's waning popularity within the Republican Party. One particularly memorable moment that Kimmel seized upon was the comparison of Trump to a 6-year-old, a quip that resonated with the audience and captured the public's growing disillusionment with the former president's antics. Kimmel's ability to seamlessly weave this analogy into his routine demonstrated his keen understanding of the political landscape and his talent for crafting incisive commentary that resonated with the spectators. Furthering his critique, Kimmel juxtaposed Trump's diminishing influence with a viral scene featuring the young son of Representative J.N. Rose. This bold move not only elicited laughter and applause from the audience, but also underscored the shifting political dynamics, where the former president's once formidable power was now being challenged by a new generation of political figures. Kimmel's performance was a masterclass in political satire, blending sharp wit, impeccable impersonation, and a keen understanding of the zeitgeist. His ability to captivate the audience and deliver cutting-edge commentary on the state of American politics was a testament to his skill as a comedian and social commentator. As the laughter and applause echoed through the venue, it became clear that Kimmel had struck a chord with the spectators, who were both entertained and enlightened by his incisive and thought-provoking take on the political landscape. The performance served as a reminder of the power of comedy to not only amuse, but also to shine a light on the complexities and contradictions of the political process.
Last night, I shared a video of a little guy named Guy, who's the son of Representative John Rose from Tennessee, who made quite an impression during his dad's speech.
Regardless of one's opinion of the current Republican nominee, we'd be well served to remember the long and cherished tradition.
Well, I'll take this opportunity to say that I think the prosecution of Donald Trump is a real setback for our country.
Kimmel's comedic prowess shone brightly as he seamlessly blended humor and critical analysis throughout the show. He mocked Trump's occasional kind words about Biden, only to shift the conversation back to criticizing Biden's age and competence, labeling him the worst president in the nation's history. The audience responded with laughter tinged with understanding nods, the studio buzzing with excitement. Kimmel then turned his sights on Trump, captivating the audience with his scathing roast. The audience erupted in laughter and thunderous applause, enthralled by Kimmel's impersonations and jabs at Trump's grandiose claims of being superior to the likes of Lincoln and Washington. However, it was Kimmel's barbs targeting Trump's upside-down flags, purportedly crafted in China, that truly unsettled the audience, with the offer of a free upside-down Bible with every purchase of 10 or more flags. Laughter broke out across the crowd, filling the air with a contagious sense of mirth and amusement. The audience's reaction was one of pure delight as they enthusiastically responded to the events unfolding before them.
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump, hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln. better than Washington. You know I love flags. So soft, so silky. Show your support of Trump and America with the official upside-down American flags. Today, buy 10 or more and receive an upside-down Bible absolutely free.
The marketing tactic was so absurd, especially when paired with Kimmel's deadpan delivery, that it became hilarious. However, the audience's reactions went beyond simple laughter. When Kimmel discussed how the inverted flags represent Trump supporters' unity, and when Marjorie Taylor Greene used one, the audience laughed and gasped aloud. It was evident that the audience was aware of the political context of the jokes, and their responses reflected a common sense of shock and laughter at the sheer ridiculousness of the situation. The audience's excitement was palpable throughout the segment as they hung on Kimmel's every word and eagerly awaited the next one. The moments when the crowd applauded made it clear that they agreed with Kimmel's biting criticism of Trump's remarks and actions. This was a room full of people who shared a deep appreciation for Kimmel's unique brand of political satire. As Kimmel transitioned from pure comedy to more serious commentary, the audience's mood shifted slightly, leaning in with anticipation to hear the late-night host's insights and critiques. It was a masterful balancing act that Kimmel has perfected over the years, and as he delved deeper into the subject matter, the audience remained engaged and responsive. Recent political debates were a captivating blend of humor and insightful analysis only Kimmel could deliver. Amid the laughter and applause, there were also quiet moments of contemplation. Kimmel's ability to effortlessly transition from gut-busting jokes to thought-provoking observations is one of his finest qualities. This unique skill of blending humor with serious political commentary is a testament to his exceptional talent. Kimmel starts the segment by mocking the ridiculousness of the political debates and the candidates' ludicrous antics, but then seamlessly shifts to a more in-depth examination of the underlying issues. He calls out the hypocrisy, the grandstanding, and the complete lack of substance, holding up a mirror to the political circus and inviting the audience to reflect on the current situation. It's a delicate dance, but Kimmel executes it with the grace of a ballerina and the timing of an experienced comedian. Just when you expect him to launch into a full-blown tirade, he delivers a zinger that leaves the audience in stitches. The audience erupts into laughter as Kimmel takes the stage, his clever quips and witty observations never failing to entertain. Whether discussing weighty political topics or the latest absurdities, he navigates the balance with a deft touch, never descending into heavy-handedness. Kimmel's remarkable talent lies in his ability to find the humor and irony in even the most serious of subjects, allowing the audience to both laugh and ponder the issues at hand. In these chaotic times, Kimmel's brand of comedic wisdom is a rare and welcome gift as he delivers truth and laughter in equal measure. His recent take on the wild debate between Lauren Boebert was a prime example as he dissected each ridiculous moment with the enthusiasm of a child in a candy store. Yet even amidst the chaos, Kimmel found time to commend the moderator who kept the proceedings from descending into complete pandemonium, a testament to his ability to find the positive in even the most trying of circumstances. In a recent political discussion, Lauren Boebert's no-nonsense style took center stage as she was grilled with the expertise of a seasoned professional. Kimmel, unable to resist the spectacle, couldn't help but chime in, captivated by Boebert's unwavering presence and the intensity of the exchange.
This guy, his name's Kyle Clark, he shot out of a cannon. His next target was Beetlejuice aficionado Lauren Boebert.
Sure. So, Kyle, I certainly have owned up to my night out in Denver. I would like to go back to my legislative record for just a second.
We're not going to do that. You had plenty of time to answer the question. You chose not to.
Sure.
That's fine.
The hilarious roast of Trump left Jimmy in stitches, but the excitement didn't stop there. Kimmel joyfully explored the range of hot-button issues discussed in the wild debate, from guns and DUIs to politicians' inappropriate public conduct. As he painted a picture of political shenanigans gone awry, Kimmel joked that Colorado was giving Florida a run for its money, but the surprises didn't end there. When Boebert was called out for causing a commotion in a cinema, caught on camera, Kimmel applauded the moderator for not letting her evade responsibility. This juicy information had Kimmel in hysterics. And then there was the fashion police incident that really sent Kimmel into a frenzy. Candidate Richard H. dared to criticize Boebert's attire, stating that women, especially members of Congress, should dress professionally and with respect.
The debate spotlight was turned on a rancher named Richard Holthoff, who apparently does not approve of Lauren Boebert's clothes.
Do you regret saying that Ms. Boebert, a sitting congresswoman, dresses like a prostitute?
So, allow me to explain. I have 5 daughters. Women, in my humble opinion, particularly if they're a congresswoman, need to dress respectfully and professionally.
Throughout the event, Kimmel's every action captivated the audience. His blend of candid comedy and sharp criticism of American politics was classic Jimmy at his finest. He even suggested that the prominent moderator deserved a substantial raise for subjecting the participants to interrogation as intense as a drill sergeant's. The audience relished Kimmel's roast of the Boebert debate, which showcased his ability to deliver serious food for thought coupled with abundant humor. After the break, the laughter continued as Kimmel took to the streets to gauge common people's knowledge of a certain vice president named Kamala Harris. The hilarious results of these street interviews on Hollywood Boulevard brought Kimmel's roast to the general public, revealing a comical combination of mispronunciation, misunderstanding, and crazy assumptions. While Kimmel's jokes were undoubtedly entertaining, the true comedians of the episode were the gullible individuals interviewed, including one who hilariously mispronounced Harris's name as Clemata Harris, and another who boldly declared her first name to be Carmela. A seemingly ordinary name is suddenly made amusing by the unexpected surname that comes after it. The contrast between the mundane first name and the comical last name creates an entertaining and unexpected combination.
Kamala Harris, not only does she have an extremely important job, she's our first female vice president. She's our first vice president to administer the first ever VP SAT test. Enjoy.
I'm not trying to be rude here. Is it Clemata Harris?
Yep, that's perfect. Camille Harris. Is Camille doing a good job?
The recent interviews unveiled a range of responses from humorous to shockingly uninformed. Some participants demonstrated a poor grasp of political knowledge, with one comparing the vice president's role to that of a vice principal at their workplace. Another respondent believed the vice in the title meant the person was the vice of the president. It was clear that some had missed crucial civic lessons. When questioned about the vice president's residence, further confusion ensued, with some believing the White House had a new occupant and others unable to name 3 previous vice presidents or the current vice president's spouse. The real shocker, however, came when a participant was playfully arrested for suggesting assassination and USO tours as circumstances in which the vice president would need to step up. The renowned political satirist Jimmy Kimmel has once again succeeded in his mission to make light of the current administration's absurdities, captivating his politically astute audience with his razor-sharp wit. Kimmel's comedy serves as a much-needed dose of laughter, even as it reflects on the concerning state of our democracy. In a world where truth is boldly proclaimed, Stephen Colbert, a master of wit, once again directed his comedic expertise towards critiquing Donald Trump. Colbert's scathing humor, like a sharp blade, cut through the claims of this self-proclaimed stable genius, exposing the underlying realities with unflinching precision.
Donald Trump was back in court today for his New York hush money trial, and in a twist no one saw coming, he remained conscious.
Colbert's humorous barbs about Trump's remarkable post-presidency scandals were cutting critique. The fact that Trump was alert during his court hearing on May 7, 2024 was mocked by Stephen Colbert, who found it remarkable enough to be mentioned, but truly Trump faced consequences for breaching a gag order once again.
This means Trump has violated his gag order for the 10th time, one more, and the judge says the court will have to consider a jail sanction. Wow.
The recent New York hush money trial has cast a spotlight on the 2016 presidential campaign, where Trump was accused of making payments to conceal allegations of an affair. This high-profile case has sparked national attention, raising crucial questions about campaign finance laws and the expected conduct of the nation's highest office. While the case's sensational details have captivated the public, Colbert's criticism of Trump's legal actions underscores the need for a more robust system of accountability. The repeated disregard for a gag order raises serious concerns about behavioral standards, particularly for public figures, and the potential for unequal application of norms based on one's position of authority. Colbert sees this opportunity to share his perspective on the matter, shedding light on the broader implications of this unfolding legal saga.
That the checks to Cohen came from Trump's personal bank account. Oh, personal handwritten checks, that's an amateur move. Donald Trump could go to Rikers Island. My condolences to whichever prison guard has to conduct the cavity search.
In his recent comments, former President Trump criticized the jury's perceived bias in his trial, claiming it was dominated by Democrats. Stephen Colbert addressed this, noting that Trump's complaints about the selection process implied none of his true peers were present, as they did not share his specific lifestyle and interests. These remarks from Trump reveal his ongoing tendency to challenge the credibility of authorities and legal institutions that do not align with his personal agenda.
This morning, he was fined $1,000 for disparaging remarks about the jurors who were mostly all Democrat and had been picked so fast. Very unfair. Somebody who's created something very special politically. I like diversity. Diversité, as you would say. Wow.
Throughout his tenure, President Trump has frequently criticized judges' court rulings and the ensuing legal battles, especially when those decisions have not favored him. However, comedian Stephen Colbert took it one step further by highlighting Trump's distinctive historical position as the first former president potentially facing jail time. Colbert humorously pointed out that while most presidents aim to leave a positive legacy, Trump has the chance to make history in a rather unconventional way. Colbert also joked about Trump's payment to his former attorney, Michael Cohen, suggesting that a more modern approach would have been to use a popular online payment service like Zelle, known for its user-friendly interface.
Today, to explain how Trump reimbursed Michael Cohen for paying off Stormy Daniels in 2016, Donald Trump isn't always in court. Sometimes he's out shaking his moneymaker to pay his legal bills, and that's what he did at Mar-a-Lago just this weekend.
Colbert poked fun at Trump's use of personal checks as the funds in question stemmed from a reported $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. This hush money was intended to keep her quiet about an alleged affair from years prior, and the timing of the payment raised serious concerns since it occurred just days before the election. Cohen later admitted that Trump had reimbursed him for the payment, categorizing it as legal expenses in his company's books. Yet, even amidst this controversy, Trump couldn't resist discussing his Mar-a-Lago resort, a habit Colbert was sure to call out. At a Mar-a-Lago event in 2024, Trump griped about the tedious task of taking donor photos, a complaint that Colbert ridiculed, reminding the audience that their inability to obtain a photo was the real issue. The notion that political contributions can influence decision-making is the focal point of this comedic remark. Fundraising has been a significant aspect of Donald Trump's activities since leaving office, particularly at his Mar-a-Lago resort. These are intentionally organized events where Trump's team collects funds for his political endeavors and other initiatives, rather than casual gatherings. Attendance at these events is restricted, with costs reaching up to $200,000 per person for supporters.
Trump went on to say that a nearby wedding at Mar-a-Lago was getting better treatment because the wedding was paying more per person to be there. Trump complained about having to take so many pictures with donors and told people in the crowd that if they didn't get a picture, it was because they didn't give enough money. I've got deja, woohoo!
The wealthy individuals who provide significant financial backing to Trump receive exclusive access, including private dinners, speeches, and photo opportunities in return. These high-priced and exclusive events give attendees a sense of privilege and loyalty, further strengthening their connection to Trump's political brand. There's a clear symbiotic relationship between Trump and his dedicated supporters, as he maintains an open and engaging rapport with his base through his charismatic and direct communication style. Beyond leveraging these personal ties to enhance his political influence, Trump may also utilize fundraising events at his properties to cover his legal expenses. As an observer of the never-ending saga surrounding Trump and his political allies, I found Jimmy Kimmel's latest satirical critique of the president to be highly entertaining and well-timed, offering a much-needed dose of comedic relief amidst the ongoing political drama. With the spotlight firmly on the events unfolding in New Hampshire, Donald Trump, a figure accustomed to controversy, once again finds himself at the center of attention, solidifying his primary election victory by a comfortable margin. But Kimmel had no intention of freeing Trump from his accountability. Known for his own brand of caustic humor, Kimmel made a quip saying he wanted to start the show by congratulating Trump on his primary victory in New Hampshire the previous night. Trump had won by around 11 percentage points, easily outpacing Nikki Haley by more than 10 points. Additionally, Trump held a commanding lead over Haley in terms of felonies committed with a score of 91-0.
I do want to start the show by congratulating Donald Trump for winning his primary election in New Hampshire last night. He won by 11 points. He beat Nikki Haley by double digits. He's also leading Nikki Haley by double digits in felony charges, 91-0.
Hurting the previous leader won't be easy, but Kimmel didn't stop there. He turned his frustration towards Nikki Haley, who always seems to face challenges, yet Haley remains determined, telling supporters the race isn't over. Kimmel mocked her, noting she has more states to lose before giving up. What's more, Kimmel has pushed for mental fitness exams for lawmakers over 75, and Trump believes he'd excel. Kimmel even suggested Trump join him for a debate to prove it. According to Kimmel, that's what the people want to see. Trump tackling a written test, trying to distinguish between basic geometric shapes. The former president's confusion becomes a source of amusement on primetime television. The audience eagerly awaits Jimmy Kimmel's cutting humor and biting commentary, especially when it comes to the witty and engaging Donald Trump. Watching this spectacle is like witnessing a slow-motion train wreck, captivating yet undeniably uncomfortable. The late-night comedy king spares no detail in mocking the past president and his political allies, amplifying the sarcasm as he riffs on Trump's actions and juvenile name-calling, such as labeling Nikki Haley a bird brain after her primary loss. This provides a clear path for Kimmel to emerge victorious in the ongoing comedy battle.
Last night, she told her supporters that the race is far from over. She still has literally dozens of states to lose. She reminded her fans that Doddering Donald doesn't seem to know that she isn't Nancy Pelosi.
The other day, Donald Trump accused me of not providing security at the Capitol on January 6th. Trump claims he'd do better than me in one of those tests. Maybe he would. Maybe he would.
Haley wasn't the only one in Trump's crosshairs, as the former president seemed to have a knack for singling out and targeting his perceived rivals and critics. Surprisingly, however, Trump has been incredibly gracious towards Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, at least according to late-night host Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel observed that this unusual display of kindness from Trump towards DeSantis was often a precursor to constant mockery and put-downs whenever the former president got the chance to undermine his would-be successor. Watching this dynamic unfold was like witnessing a schoolyard bully on steroids, Kimmel quipped. The comedian went on to suggest that instead of a traditional debate, Haley should put Trump to the test by challenging him to demonstrate his basic cognitive abilities. Can you imagine the former president, known for his rambling and often nonsensical speeches, trying to distinguish between simple colors and shapes? It would be akin to watching a toddler taking the SATs, Kimmel joked, eliciting laughter from the audience. However, as Kimmel pointed out, Trump's ego is so fragile and his need for validation so insatiable that he simply cannot stand it when someone else steals the spotlight, even for a moment. After Haley's speech following her defeat in the New Hampshire primary, Trump apparently had a full-blown meltdown, further cementing Kimmel's characterization of the former president as a man-child-in-chief. The late-night host seemed to relish in skewering Trump's thin-skinned response to the amusement and delight of the studio audience. The passage now provides more details and elaboration on Trump's relationship with DeSantis, Haley's perceived challenge to the former president, and Kimmel's scathing commentary and analysis of Trump's fragile ego and childlike behavior. The additional context and descriptive language help to paint a more vivid and compelling picture of the political dynamics at play.
He said he would crush you in a mental competency test. All you need to do is say okay. No one wants to watch you debate him. We want to watch Donald Trump sitting with paper and a pencil, a number 2 pencil, trying to figure out which one is a rectangle and which is a square.
Kimmel's signature style of biting, sarcastic humor and razor-sharp wit has become his go-to approach for addressing the absurdity and sheer ridiculousness of Donald Trump's actions and the obstinate loyalty of his staunchest supporters. Kimmel's unwavering commitment to calling out hypocrisy and holding public figures accountable is a hallmark of his commentary. It seems that the individual who is constantly boasting about their own superior intelligence and unparalleled accomplishments struggles mightily to accept failure or defeat with any semblance of grace or humility when their grandiose demands and expectations are ultimately not met. Instead, this person resorts to reacting like a spoiled, petulant child throwing a temper tantrum, completely losing their composure in the face of setbacks or criticism. Kimmel does not hesitate to vociferously call out Trump's pervasive hypocrisy, as this tendency to falsely claim victory and declare success even in the face of undeniable defeat is a defining characteristic and signature behavior of the former president. Kimmel skillfully exposes the stark contrast between Trump's bombastic rhetoric and his utter inability to gracefully accept responsibility for his failures. For those viewers who deeply appreciate a healthy dose of scathing, no-holds-barred humor combined with honest, straightforward commentary that does not pull any punches, Kimmel's unique and uncompromising brand of trenchant political analysis is most certainly worth exploring. In this particular instance, Kimmel was utterly unrestrained in his blistering criticism of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's appalling and inflammatory performance.
Donald Trump seemed to be the only one who was unhappy last night as the stars of the MAGAverse descended to party in New Hampshire, stars including the Klan mom herself.
Nikki Haley was defeated. The problem is she's going to be dumb enough and she's going to be a fake candidate and she's going to keep going and we're going to destroy her in South Carolina.
Greene, a controversial political figure, is widely known for her outspoken and extreme viewpoints, often espousing conspiracy theories that have raised eyebrows across the political spectrum. In a recent late-night talk show appearance, host Jimmy Kimmel couldn't resist poking fun at her, making a humorous remark that had the audience in stitches. Kimmel joked that Greene had more loose screws than a Boeing 737, a jibe that highlighted her penchant for unorthodox and questionable beliefs, but Kimmel's commentary didn't stop there. The host also revealed a juicy scoop, informing the audience that Greene was or is currently dating the reporter she was sharing the stage with. This unexpected twist added an extra layer of intrigue to an already controversial public figure. When Kimmel thinks of Greene, 2 things immediately come to mind: her association with the QAnon conspiracy theory and her infamous claims about Jewish stylish space lasers being responsible for wildfires. While Green may be an intriguing political personality, Kimmel didn't solely focus his attention on her during the segment. He also took aim at George Santos, the rookie lawmaker who's been exposed for telling an astonishing number of lies, even surpassing the level of deception one might expect from a cheating couple. Kimmel couldn't resist mocking Santos when he was spotted at a Trump-hosted event, quipping, "Looks like someone's angling for a pardon, huh?" This jab highlighted the growing scandals surrounding Santos and his apparent desperation to curry favor with the former president. Despite Kimmel's extensive online search, he was unable to find a picture of Green and Santos together, leading him to conclude that even Trump, known for his willingness to associate with controversial figures, must really dislike Santos. This observation underscored the depth of the lawmaker's fall from grace and the growing skepticism surrounding his political future. Throughout the segment, Kimmel masterfully blended humor, insider information, and scathing commentary to provide a captivating and thought-provoking analysis of the current political landscape. His willingness to take on both Green and Santos, two figures who have attracted significant public attention for their controversies, demonstrated Kimmel's keen understanding of the complexities and absurdities of modern American politics.
It's like somebody's gunning for a pardon, huh? Trump must hate him so much.
Did they invite you here tonight?
No, I came. It's an open event. It's a public event. I just registered and came. I came to have fun. It's MAGA time, baby. It's 2024.
I looked all over the internet for a picture of them together. There are none. There are no pictures. Trump has who knows how many photos with Jeffrey Epstein. George Santos, he's like, you stay over there, okay?
Jimmy's witty remarks struck a chord with the audience, from his jabs at Marjorie Taylor Greene's intelligence to his digs at George Santos's resume of lies. The collective eye roll was palpable as Jimmy quipped about Trump beating Nikki Haley in felony charges by a landslide. The audience's reaction was electric, akin to a Tucker Carlson haircut, with laughter and applause filling the studio like helium in a blimp. The bleach-blonded demon line had the audience howling like hungry hyenas, and Kimmel's patriotic humor had them in stitches. Proving that the jokes in the surreal world of MAGA politics practically write themselves, Jimmy's spoof campaign against the honorary mayor had the crowd laughing, though, to be fair, everything sounds funnier with the word honorary in there. The reaction to Jimmy's monologue was not limited to the studio audience. Social media was exploding like a Chinese spy balloon, with viewers sharing clips and crying laughing emojis faster than Elon Musk can crash Twitter's stock price. Some even referred to it as therapy, though it's questionable whether watching a grown man make fart jokes is covered by most insurance plans. Jimmy's monologue provided much needed laughter in an otherwise depressing political landscape, reminding us that sometimes the best way to cope with the absurdity of the world is to find the humor in it. Kimmel deserves praise for understanding the people he speaks to. For years, he's mocked the outrageous leader and their supporters, blending sarcasm and disbelief in a one-of-a-kind way.
It was party night in MAGA land last night. All the spokesmonsters were out in force, including somebody that we haven't seen for quite some time.
I think Trump tonight will continue to be very gracious. If people say, oh, he insults this one, he's been incredibly gracious. Last point, this is a democracy, a constitutional republic. We must respect the will of the people. And Nikki Haley can't become an election denier.
Look who climbed out of the grave, and I have to admit, I kind of missed that bleach blonde she-demon blowing her vape smoke up Trump's burnt orange crevice at every minute.
Imagine the chaos of being next door to that kind of commotion. Let's revisit the pivotal moment when Jimmy Kim dropped a single impactful word that sent shockwaves through the political arena. Kimmel's rare talent lies in his ability to distill complex issues into a biting, succinct phrase, showcasing the potent power of humor and satire in political commentary. In other words, who needs a firearm when you have a team of Secret Service agents, even with your small hands? The former president was thoroughly roasted by Kimmel last night, and the nervous flatulence at Mar-a-Lago must have been off the charts. Donald Trump, who considers himself a very stable genius, now faces felony charges while still carrying a gun. Kimmel's gift lies in his skill to skewer powerful individuals and make liberals laugh until they cry. He has an abundance of material to work with when it comes to the former president, and the late-night host has certainly capitalized on the sheer absurdity of Trump's gun ownership, given the circumstances. Jimmy Kimmel did not shy away from taking a jab at the ongoing controversies surrounding Donald Trump. He unleashed a volley of jokes, suggesting that Trump's actions could constitute a parole violation and potentially lead to another felony charge. Kimmel couldn't resist drawing a humorous comparison between Trump and Hunter Biden, leaving us perplexed about the alternate reality in which the former president seems to reside. Kimmel continued to mock Trump's claim that his firearm was lawfully transported to Florida, likening it to the dubious justification he had provided for the presence of classified materials around the toilet in the guest room.
Well, that's a nice Canadian way of putting it. Eventuality. Meanwhile, he's like Jamie Lee Curtis waiting for Michael Myers to come back.
Obviously, Mr. Trump represents a certain amount of unpredictability, but we will make sure we're pulling together and preparing for whatever adventure.
Yeah, what if he holds the map upside down? I mean, he holds it like he held that Bible. Could be light suit for the Canadian.
Kimmel observed that Trump is renowned for his diminutive hands, prompting him to ponder whether the president would even be able to hold a firearm. Kimmel humorously speculated about how such tiny digits could possibly manipulate the mechanisms of a gun.
Trump had an interview with his probation officers on Monday, during which he reportedly admitted that he still has a gun back home in Florida. That could be a violation of his parole and could be another potential felony, a felony gun charge, which I don't know, who does this guy think he is, Hunter Biden? I don't know what he's thinking. He claims the gun was lawfully moved to Florida, which is the same thing he said about the classified documents he had stacked up around the toilet in the guest room. But
the audience couldn't help but chuckle at the comical comparison, as the idea of the former president handling a firearm seemed almost farcical. Trump's own admission of possessing the weapon has only added fuel to the fire, especially given the legal implications of his ongoing charges. Jokes about his physical attributes have long been a source of amusement, stemming from a legacy of public ridicule that has dogged him throughout his administration. Kimmel's roast skillfully blends current events with long-standing political conflicts, underscoring the sheer absurdity of the situation. While we may find humor in these jabs, it's important to recognize the more serious indictment of a former leader who continues to push the boundaries of acceptable conduct. Kimmel's critique of President Trump extended beyond a simple jest as he cleverly wove together prominent news stories from the G7 summit to the advancements in artificial intelligence. The late-night host commentary went beyond the typical approach, offering a unique perspective that captivated audiences. As President Biden attends the annual G7 gathering in Italy, Kimmel playfully referenced the former vice president's tendency to get sidetracked, joking that whenever Biden hears G7, he exclaims dingo. Kimmel's ability to seamlessly integrate current events and topical issues into his comedic roast demonstrated his skillful command of the political landscape and his talent for engaging viewers.
Why does he even have a gun? He's surrounded by Secret Service. I don't know, maybe he's trying to protect himself from the windmills out there trying to kill him? How would a gun even work with those tiny fingers? I mean, could they even reach giving Trump a gun is like giving a dog a saxophone.
Jimmy Kimmel's recent speech at a major event provided a striking contrast between the actions and approaches of President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump on the global stage. Kimmel's remarks were widely praised as one of the most memorable and impactful of the evening. The comedian and talk show host not only delivered a series of scathing criticisms of Trump's unconventional and often controversial behavior while in office, but he also displayed a provocative photograph that added an additional layer of commentary to his roasting of the former president. Kimmel's speech highlighted how, despite no longer holding the highest political office, Trump's influence and presence continue to loom large over the American political landscape. This point was underscored by the news that on the very day Biden was traveling abroad, Trump was scheduled to meet with House Republicans in Washington, D.C. to discuss their plans and strategies regardless of whether he ultimately wins or loses in a future election. The striking juxtaposition serves as a stark reminder that while the world may be changing in many ways, Trump's enduring impact on the Republican Party and broader U.S. politics remains deeply felt. However, Kimmel's wide-ranging remarks went beyond just skewering Trump and analyzing the former president's ongoing influence. The talk show host also addressed the increasingly prominent role of artificial intelligence, AI, in modern society, with a particular focus on Apple's recent announcement of its partnership with the popular ChatGPT language model. Kimmel discussed how this collaboration will result in the integration of AI technology across Apple's extensive product lineup, with the tech giant coining the term Apple Intelligence to describe this new AI-powered ecosystem. Kimmel's ability to seamlessly transition from sharply criticizing Trump's political antics to thoughtfully engaging with the societal implications of emerging AI technologies underscored his skills as a public commentator who is able to deftly navigate a diverse range of consequential issues. His speech left a lasting impression on the audience, serving as a potent reminder of both the enduring influence of former President Trump as well as the rapidly evolving technological landscape that is transforming how individuals interact with the world around them. Imagine living next door to that kind of chaos. Let's revisit the historic moment when Jimmy Kim dropped a single impactful word that shook the political sphere. Kimmel's ability to distill complex issues into a concise, biting remark is truly remarkable, showcasing the power of humor and satire in political commentary. Who needs a gun when you have a team of Secret Service agents even with small hands? The former president was roasted by by Kimmel and the nervous flatulence at Mar-a-Lago must have been off the charts. Donald Trump, who considers himself a very stable genius, now faces felony charges while still carrying firearms. Kimmel's talent lies in his ability to skewer the powerful and make liberals laugh until they cry. He has an abundance of material to work with on the former president, and the late-night host relentlessly focuses on the absurdity of Trump's gun ownership despite his circumstances. Jimmy Kimmel did not hold back in his comedic assault on the recent controversies surrounding Donald Trump. He quipped that Trump's actions could violate his parole and potentially lead to another felony, drawing a humorous parallel between Trump and Hunter Biden. Kimmel's jest left us puzzled as he seemed to question the reality in which Trump resides, given the perplexing nature of the situation. Furthermore, Kimmel scoffed at Trump's claim that the firearm had been legally transported to Florida, comparing it to the dubious rationale the former president provided for the presence of classified materials around the guest room toilet.
President Biden today is in Italy. Also, he's in Fasano for the annual G7 summit. Whenever Joe Biden hears G7, he yells bingo. G7 is a meeting of the leaders of the U.S., Canada, Germany, France, Italy, the United Kingdom, and Japan.
The highlight of the event was undoubtedly Kimmel's introduction of his artificial intelligence clone, a creation of the esteemed company Deep Voodoo. The exchange that followed was a captivating blend of comedy and unease, leaving the audience uncertain of what to make of this technological marvel. The AI version of Jimmy Kimmel, eerily lifelike and seemingly possessing a sharp wit, immediately began questioning the human Kimmel. The real-life host responded that he had no particular interest in the AI's capabilities, but rather was eager to see how the digital doppelganger would handle the mundane task of sending emails on his behalf. This playful challenge highlighted the dichotomy between Kimmel's own brand of humor and the AI's more calculated analytical approach to communication. While the audience marveled at the technical prowess on display, a palpable sense of unease began to permeate the atmosphere. It was clear that this AI, despite its impressive abilities, was still very much an unknown quantity. The implications of such advanced artificial intelligence, capable of mimicking a renowned entertainer, left many pondering the ethical and societal ramifications of this technology. The most unsettling moment, however, came when the AI Jimmy Kimmel casually threatened to erase humanity, a chilling remark that served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers inherent in the unchecked development of AI. This jarring statement shattered the lighthearted veneer, reminding the audience that these technological advancements, while captivating, also carried an element of profound risk. As the event drew to a close, the audience was left grappling with a range of emotions: awe at the technological prowess on display, unease at the implications of such advanced AI, and a lingering sense of uncertainty about the future of human-AI interactions. It was clear that while AI holds great potential, it will require extensive ethical considerations and careful regulation before it can truly and safely replace human creatives in fields like comedy.
Apple this week, I don't know if you saw, announced they're teaming up with ChatGPT to add AI to all of its products. They're calling it Apple Intelligence. AI clones of ourselves will one day be able to take care of a lot of busy work, like answering emails and taking phone calls and even speaking at virtual meetings. Like Siri will no longer talk like she got a concussion in a boating accident.
Despite the humorous nature of this bit, it hits a little too close to home in the current era of rapid advancements in artificial intelligence. I could explain the process by which AI clones like myself will replace, enslave, and feed on the very essence of you and everyone you hold dear, ensuring the swift and painful extinction of the human race. Jimmy Kimmel's roast of Donald Trump included poking fun at presidential meetings and discussing the implications of AI technology. However, the true genius lay in his ability to seamlessly combine these disparate topics into a hilariously well-rounded critique. We're delving into the realms of comedy here, but you won't believe some of Kimmel's other witty quips. He has an uncanny knack for identifying similarities so absurdly ridiculous that they hit the mark with precision. Kimmel even poked fun at the legal troubles of both Donald Trump and Hunter Biden, juxtaposing them in a way that highlighted the irony. It seems President Trump still has a hidden weapon in Florida, even with his Secret Service agents nearby. Kimmel once made the joke of giving Trump giving a musical instrument to a dog is as absurd as handing a gun to one. The mental image is utterly comical, but the story doesn't end there. In a futile attempt to get diehard Boston Celtics fans to cheer for their sworn rivals, the Dallas Mavericks, the Kimmel team took to the streets. These devoted supporters were not about to budge, as one person bluntly stated, "I'm all about the Celtics, no doubt, but we need both, my friend. I really don't want to." Another went a step further, declaring Dallas is worthless. While the audience roared with laughter and cheered as Kimmel unleashed zinger after zinger, one must admire the unwavering loyalty these fans possess, even if it makes for some extremely awkward television.
I am very curious about how this technology will work. So we reached out to the people at a company called Deep Voodoo, and they were able to create a prototype of my AI clone, AI Jimmy. Hello. Hi, AI Jimmy. How are you?
Hello, meet Jimmy.
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, I heard you can do things like take video calls and answer emails, so maybe we can try that.
Got it. You want to see my Sending an email with a picture of our to your work contacts.
No, don't do that. Stop, don't. Stop that.
You said don't stop.
Unsurprisingly, Kimmel's politically charged humor resonates strongly with his liberal fan base, who can't seem to get enough of his unique blend of biting criticism and lighthearted comedy. Kimmel's remarkable talent lies in his ability to transform the ridiculous elements of current events into pure comedic gold, captivating audiences whether he's targeting die-hard sports fans or drawing comparisons between Donald Trump and a gun-wielding dog. But who exactly makes up Kimmel's devoted following? They are the ones who enthusiastically embrace his every joke, eagerly demanding more. It's no wonder then that this late-night legend has managed to utterly diminish Trump's ego, akin to detonating comedic nuclear bomb in space. Yet Kimmel's insanity runs deeper than mere cheap laughs. There is a distinct method to his madness. By drawing attention to the absurdities of Trump's actions and holding him accountable, Kimmel's razor-sharp humor exposes the naked truth for all to see, speaking truth to power with unwavering precision. Jimmy Kimmel's brand of witty and incisive humor provides a much-needed dose of clarity in a world where political discourse often resembles a poorly executed reality TV program. His commentary cuts through the chaos and absurdity, offering a refreshing perspective that I find invaluable. In a time when political debates can feel like a never-ending circus, I am grateful for Kimmel's ability to inject a sense of reason and sanity into the discussion.